Hey guys, welcome to 142 Squadron. I'm Digit.
And I'm Dassault, and we're the pilot and Weasel flying the F-15SG. You must have heard us flying across the island recently, and that's because we've already started practicing for the National Day Parade. Apart from the usual salute to nation that we do, this year we are including a roar of unity across the hospitals and also the heartlands to pay tribute for the frontline workers and also for your viewing.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at all the hard work those guys have put in.
I am the lead planner for this year's NDP, and I'm also flying as 1 Bravo, which is the lead for this year's 6-ship Delta formation. Right. So what I'm in charge of is all the way from the ground mission planning, all the way to execution, and also in debrief. What is particularly different about this year's NDP is that it is fully televised due to COVID. Right? Remember, safe distancing, 1 wingspan away. Okay, so we had to think about how we could still bring NDP to the people as well.
Okay, so if you guys were wondering what a Delta formation is, it looks something like this. So simply put, it's like a little bit of a triangle. So we got number 1 up at the front, 2 and 3 on the left and right wings respectively, and over at the back we got number 4 and number 5 on the outer wings. Number 6 is directly behind number 1. So the Delta formation, what are our roles and responsibilities? Number 1, simple, he's the flight lead. He's overall going to take care of the entire formation, making sure that we go out and back safely. He's also in charge of timing. He's also in charge of the route, so i.e. navigation along the way. Number 2 and 3, slightly simpler I would say. They're on the inner wings, so as a wingman their job is to stay in formation, right? That goes the same for number 4 and 5. Myself I'm going to be flying as number 5. So the tricky thing obviously as the guys on the outer wing is we're supposed to be flying formation off the inner wings. So for example as number 5 I'm flying off number 3. But I also have to keep charge and look ahead at number 1 to make sure that we're all on a good line. Number 6, his job is a little bit more unique. He's the whip. So his job actually out there is to make sure that we are all in a good formation. So he actually doesn't join up straight into a Delta formation on the get-go. When we're holding a little bit further out south of Singapore, he's probably going to be holding a little bit down here, and he's going to be making an assessment of how the formation is. So, hey, you guys got to go in a little bit more, you guys got to move out a little bit more. And once everything is good and ready, then he'll slot himself in, and then we carry out the show from there.
We will be actually starting all the way from Changi downwards and hitting the Padang. Thereafter, we'll be making a right turn, going past hospitals such as Tan Tock Seng before proceeding to Sengkang. After Changi, we'll proceed to hospitals such as Khoo Teck Puat, Ng Teng Fong, NUH, Alexandra, and finally SGH. After which, we will now begin circling around the island 3 times around the main heartlands of the estate. The biggest challenge that we face in mission planning is actually the whole concept, because there's not going to be a big audience, a huge gathering around like a normal parade. We developed this roar of unity to help us bring NDP to the people in the most meaningful way possible.
So some of the challenges that we find when we are flying over Singapore is obviously the tight airspace that we're dealing with, not forgetting the noise abatement as well. So we don't want to be waking up the young ones or the old ones. The route has to be planned really carefully so that we don't cause any disruption to the people on the ground, while still being able to show our presence and let you guys have a fantastic show out there. I consider this my first time flying in the National Day Parade. I was participating before on the F5s back then, but I was actually just a spare, so I don't really count that. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and this year is rather special as well, since we're doing the Roar of Unity. We're a little bit closer to the guys on the ground.
Yeah, for me, I'm not as old as Digit, so this is my first time participating in the fly past, and also my first time leading it. So it's definitely a learning experience in terms of the mission planning, execution. But apart from that, the most significant thing to me is being able to appreciate the island from low altitude, coming from a small fishing village down to the bustling metropolis that we are right now. I believe if we look back in a couple of years' time, this COVID crisis is actually just going to be a bump in the road. Right? I believe together we'll emerge stronger and as a more prosperous Singapore.
Yep. So from 142 Squadron, the Mighty Gryphons, here's wishing Singapore a happy birthday.